What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and it has come through, the rumored contract. Kirk Cousins going to the Vikings. You know what? I will say that it was basically my take that Kirk Cousins would have been best suited for the Vikings. I said that early on, before really a lot of momentum came to the Minnesota Vikings. But ultimately, I thought, history would repeat itself, and it would be the Denver Broncos going all in on a veteran and thinking short term. But he has signed a 3-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh. Oh. Kirk Cousins, $86 million guaranteed. 3 years, $86 million guaranteed. That's the rumor right now. No final number as of this, but all you need to see was the guarantee, because that's pretty much the big scary deal that you are seeing. You know what? This is why I want you to tune in, because I'm offering the Eagle perspective as an Eagle fan, because now, where does this take the Vikings? And not only where does it take the Vikings, who were probably one that's still going to next year, the big contenders for the Eagles, regardless of what they were going to do at quarterback, but I also have the experience of, knowing what Kirk Cousins is about, playing against the Philadelphia Eagles twice a year. I'm a little worried. Yes, I am a little worried. I think of all the quarterbacks that the Minnesota Vikings could have got, because right now, your job, if you're in the NFC, is to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They are the top dogs, or the Super Bowl champions, and they're in your own conference. And when you look at the teams right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Outside of the Saints, I think if everyone's healthy, maybe the Rams before this deal happened. I think the Saints and the Rams are probably the two teams that would cause the Philadelphia Eagles the most stress. Then again, I had a viral-ish tweet the other day saying, it's the NFC. You never know. It's a crapshoot in the NFC. Every team is good. It's not like the AFC where it's an absolute cakewalk, and it's the Patriots, Steelers, and then whatever one other team can get hot. The NFC, it's literally constant parity, and it's going to be incredibly tough for the Philadelphia Eagles to defend their crown. But now that the Minnesota Vikings, the team that had an outstanding defense, has a pretty good offensive lines, but they're going to get Dalvin Cook back, so they're going to have a good run game, and they have great receivers. Now they're adding a guy in Kirk Cousins. Am I worried as a Philadelphia Eagle fan? And I'm going to say I'm not worried, because we saw what happened when these two teams played in the playoffs, and just how much better the Eagles were. And that's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah? Well, next time the Vikings aren't going to have Case Keenum. They're going to have Kirk Cousins. Well, oh yeah? Next time Philadelphia is going to have Carson Wentz in there and not Nick Foles. So the optimism that the result will be different is, there's two different sizes. There's a yin to the yang. But ultimately, for the Minnesota Vikings, if I'm a Viking fan, this is the best deal you could have made. Personally, actually, I take that back. The best deal you could have made was somehow sweeping Drew Brees away for 2 years from the New Orleans Saints. That would have been the best thing. But Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, if you look outside of his inability to do anything in clutch situations or in the playoffs, he is a great regular season quarterback. He is going to be able to make throws that they haven't seen a quarterback make in quite some time, and he's the big fish. He is the free agent that every team wanted to sign. The fact that, he didn't go to a team that was going to rebuild. He didn't go to a Jets, a Browns, a Cardinals. He's going to a team that was already stacked, makes this that much more interesting, but it just adds that much more pressure to Cousins. And like I said, it comes back to, as an Eagle fan that has seen Kirk Cousins for some reason always have his best games of the season with the Redskins against the Eagles, and it wasn't always just Cousins. It just always felt like the Redskins are always up to play. No matter how bad the Redskins are or how good the Eagles are, the Redskins and Eagles games are always really, really close. But a big part of that was Kirk Cousins. And when you look at Kirk Cousins, I know, he's pretty bad in the fourth quarter, and he obviously has no playoff experience, really. But, he's definitely the guy that if you're a Vikings fan, you need to look to get over the hump. You need to look at how can we beat the Eagles next time, not be on the end of a 40-something blowout, and be the team that gives that. I do think that when you look at the current landscape of quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins is probably the closest guy to give you that, because, he has experience playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, the contract, the Vikings had an underrated amount of salary cap remaining. They were probably top 10 in the league, which is kind of surprising. But this Kirk Cousins deal, this is now their window, I feel. I feel like if you shovel that much money to Kirk Cousins, something is going to give. Be it Stephon Diggs not being able to get re-signed, or some players, some key guys on that defense not being able to get re-up or get the money they want. This year is, I'm not going to say they're all in, but they have Kirk Cousins on a 3-year deal. I'm going to guess that there's a 2-year window there for the Minnesota Vikings to really make that final push and see if they can get over the hump. Now, the question does come down to, yes, Kirk Cousins can throw for all the yards he wants to in the regular season, but Close game. Is he going to be the guy that can outduel Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau? Is he the kind of guy that could maintain a fourth quarter lead against Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions? Is he the guy that if they get into the playoffs and they're not inside of a dome, can he go into Lincoln Financial Field? Can he go to the, wherever the hell the Saints play, the stadium that Hurricane Katrina tried to take, you know? Rest in peace to everyone. Can he go in there and outduel Drew Brees? And I can't say right now with any confidence that he will, but I still need to sit back and say the Vikings have got a lot better, and as an Eagle fan, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not worried. I really want to see that rematch because Cousins always plays his best football against the Eagles. And, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think if you had Kirk Cousins in that game in the NFC Championship, it would have been that much different. The Eagles were just on point, and your defense was kind of booty for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe, Everson Griffin had a hammy. He pulled a hammy. But, Vikings fans, if you're watching this, congratulations. You got the biggest fish. You hooked, well, I think Norwell, in terms of talent, Andrew Norwell probably was like the biggest fish you could get. But in terms of position and importance, you got the biggest fish, and now it's on you. Now it's going to be Minnesota Vikings. They have to win the Super Bowl next year, right? You figure landing Kirk Cousins, giving them all this guaranteed money, unheard of guaranteed money, they have to win the Super Bowl. So now you have, you kind of thought maybe having the home Super Bowl last year, those were expectations that you were never going to be able to live up to. Well, get ready for that again this year because now you got the guy. You got Kirk Cousins, and if you don't make the playoffs, if you somehow struggle against the upcoming soaring Bears, the Lions that are competitive, the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, they don't make the playoffs, this could go down as an absolute train wreck for the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, I don't know how to feel. I'm guessing that the Vikings are going to be the favorites for the NFC North. But what do you guys think about this? You Vikings fans, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you optimistic? I know Mr. Hurricane on Twitter, one of the OGs of YouTube, it seems like he wasn't really as hyped as I expected for Kirk Cousins. It seems like maybe that's the mantra for a lot of Viking fans. They didn't want to pay that much money for Kirk Cousins, who's done nothing, proven he can't, nothing about Kirk Cousins has proven that he can win a Super Bowl. He just looks like a solid quarterback. But if you're, a Redskin fan, are you ready? Are you optimistic? You feel better with Alex Smith? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't know how many more videos of these updates we'll have to do. Maybe if there's trades and stuff, there's still a couple free agents you maybe want to see my reaction to. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying these videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.